Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry about the delay. We had to take care of a few home and auto maintenance items, plus a couple hayman jobs came up. So we're back on the Shaper project. This will be part 5, and we're working on the countershaft drive and so forth. So let's get back into it. We're going to pull this motor mount bracket off first, just to get it out of the way. We got to paint it anyway, so we might as well just get it off of here now. Some big old Phillips head screws here. So interesting adjustment here. So, because you want your belts to tighten at the same time when you engage the drive. So I'm assuming this lets you tilt the motor up and down so that you can get the belts tensioning together. Rather than taking this off, I'm going to try to remove the shaft while it's right here. I mean, it's a good spot to work on it. And I'm thinking we can probably just leave this side on, this pulley shiv assembly here. We'll take this side off. I came in and off camera, I cleaned out the set screw holes, the hexes with a dental tool. And I did break these loose. They were pretty tight, and you want to make sure you got good engagement with your hex key, so you don't strip them out. So the other thing I did is I came in with the same tool and kind of scraped away. Can you guys see all right? Let me bring it over here. Let's see, how's that? A little better, yeah, okay. So I came in here and I scraped away any paint or dirt, because when we pull this shiv off, we don't want to drag over anything that's on there. And this stuff is probably pretty soft. And I got a little piece of emery cloth here. Let's just clean the end of that shaft a little bit, just to make sure that nothing gets hung up. All right, I'll give it a little persuasion here. You guys are right in my way. Okay, well, that isn't doing anything. Let's try this method. Yeah, okay, I think it moved a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just tapping on the end of the puller. Okay, there we go. We'll put a little lube down in our set screw hole there. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, there is a keyway in there. We got a little Woodruff key. A little WD on our Woodruff key. Try a couple more taps. Okay, she's moving a little bit. All right, I'm going to move the camera. All right, that's better. I was doing the left-handed hammer swing. Okay, I'm gonna get some lube on here and run it back in. Get this to loosen up a little bit before we go willy-nilly here. Okay, there we go. That's just some old dried up grease in there. Okay, I'm gonna go put this on the bench. Off camera I came in and I put a couple little punch marks, not with this punch, but underneath here, so that when we go back together it'll give us a starting point for our adjustment. So there's one bolt back here. Let me get you guys in a little closer. See that one back there? It lines up perfectly with the pivot pin. So I'm going to have to fight that a little bit getting it out. Alright, that wasn't so bad. Okay. So let's see, we got a pivot pin and it still feels pretty tight. And then this pin is for the clutch or the belt tightener. It's a little stiff. And see these flats? So there's like a wear shoe right here that rubs on the housings. So that's what gives you your tension. Okay. Now this side, it's missing, so we're gonna have to make one of those. Doesn't look like it's too bad. It's just a 90-degree bend. Okay. All right, let me take all this stuff to the bench. So, taking a look at what we got here. First of all, this motor bracket, I'm just gonna give it a cleaning, maybe a little bit of light sanding. We're just gonna give it a paint job. Really nothing to do to it. Okay. So our shaft and bearing assembly here, I'm gonna clean that off or slide that bearing off. But there's a felt washer here for a seal. So I don't know if we're going to replace that or not. I'm going to clean it up and see what it looks like. Okay, and then the other collar. God, I don't know. So yeah, so the other collar here, it's also got a felt washer on there. It's not torn. It's intact, same as the other one. So we will evaluate whether we need to replace those or not. Okay. Yeah, we saw this Zamac material. It's heavy. Yeah, it's not like your normal zinc die cast stuff. This stuff is pretty solid. Yeah, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's pretty substantial. Here on the bearing assembly. I'm going to probably do this off camera. I'm going to knock this roll pin out here so we can get this out. There's a taper pin in here holding the arm on. We'll get that knocked out. We'll take the rubber brake off of there. The knob here unscrews, so that's nice. So we'll be able to clean this up and polish that separately. Okay. The Gitz oiler, there was a little Gitz oiler in the back here. And I wasn't sure if it was threaded in or pressed in. It was just a little pressed in. Came right out, no problem. So we'll clean that good. We'll reuse that. Yeah, so not a whole lot here. This is kind of interesting. These bolts, they're stamped with TR, so I don't know what manufacturer that is, but that's kind of cool. Okay, and our bearings look okay. Looks like there's a little bit of rust maybe here on the cage, or maybe that's bronze. Oh, okay, it's cleaning up. All right, so yeah, we'll get these all cleaned up. I think they'll be okay. I don't know if that's a grinding pattern or a wear pattern. Kind of interesting looking. We'll get a better idea when we clean it up. Kind of a weird pattern. Now this side isn't like that. And let's see, which side would the motor have been on? Yeah, this would have been the motor side. So it may have had some kind of weird chattering going on. Interesting. Okay, so things are cleaning up. I just did a first pass cleaning with just mainly oven cleaner. These Zymex shivs, they really look weird when you start cleaning them. Yeah, hopefully it'll take paint okay. Just a weird material. That cleaned up pretty good. A little collar. The felts, I'm just going to leave them. They look they're fine. I mean, they're real hard, but I don't know what that would hurt anything. So I'm just going to go with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Man, the finish on this sure looks strange after you know, a little bit of soap and water and some oven cleaner. Definitely odd material. And the main bearing bracket here. So there are outer races, little sleeves that are pressed in here, and they look good. I don't know if you guys can see in there or not. I put a little WD in there. They've got an expansion joint, like a zigzag. Yeah, so they look fine. I don't have to do anything there. The the oven cleaner started taking off the second layer of paint. Well, probably just you know, wire wheel or sand cloth or whatever. Get the rest of that. Made a little bit of progress on this drive screw, although it broke off. About half of it came off. It broke off down inside, so we'll have to drill that out. A little operator arm, it's cleaning up pretty good. This one here needs a little more work, obviously. And the bearings, boy, they're pretty crusty. You know, had to do a lot of scraping to get the gunk out of them. I think I'm going to throw these either in the crock pot along with some of this other stuff, or I do have a carburetor cleaner, one of those dip tanks. I might put them in that. You know, same thing with the bolts and so forth. We got our parts cleaned up. Everything came out pretty good. Our bearings look really nice. Those are going to be fine. Got to do a little bit of prep before we paint, but man, everything's nice and clean. These came out good. I'm going to probably just cold blue these. I'm going to hit them with the wire wheel first and do a little more cleaning. Our pulleys or shivs. This Zymac is really weird stuff. It had like an oxide coating, and you can see I did some sanding with some wet and dry and some Scotch-Brite. Hopefully it'll take paint okay. Looks ugly right now, but hopefully that'll be corrected with a little bit of paint. I did find in my scrap pile, I got a piece of flat stock here that's the same thickness, so I just got to cut out, put a bend in it. So I'll do that off camera. Working on replicating this missing wear block for this side. So we've already made our bend. We got that length figured out, and you can see I got a scribe line here. I'm just going to cut that off, and that'll be ready to go. We got to drill the mounting hole. So over on this side, I was able to unscrew about half of that drive screw, and then the other half broke off. So I got in there with a 1/16 carbide end mill, got it drilled out, and found another that's a stainless steel drive screw. So we're good to go there. So all we got to do is get this the right way. Cut that off, locate the hole. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to put a little pin in there, a little dab of paint or something, and try to transfer the location of that hole, and then we'll get that on there. So okay, let's give this a try. I got a white paint marker here, and I already got it started. So I just take a this is actually a plunger type set screw that I cut off. So we're just going to put some white paint on here. No guarantee if this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot here. Okay, and then we're going to drop this in our hole. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more on there. Okay, and then here's our wear block. Just going to line it up best we can by eye using the old mark. There we go. All right, time to go drill it out. Okay, we ended up being just a smidge off on our hole location, so I had to come in and just grind off a little bit on this side. So I think we'll be okay. All right, let's see if this drive screw is going to hold. Uh-oh. All right, I'm going to have to rethink this. All right, so off camera, I tapped this out 832, went in with a bottoming tap also, so we're all the way down to the bottom. And I found a nice 832 socket head screw, cut it off to the right length. Let's put a little thread locker on there and get this done. I had to enlarge the hole size just a little bit also. Okay, I think that'll stay put. All right, so I've got to finish prepping this for paint. I might try to fill that void in there, and there's some drips and stuff I gotta clean up, and I probably won't show the painting. I'll get this stuff painted, and then we can put it back together. Uh-oh. What do you think? If I keep one eye shut, will it be okay?